The world of Watamon is a warm, wet planet of red, grassy plains. The sky is a deep crimson, choked with clouds of thick red radioactive dust and smoke. The radioactive material is spewed from geysers that rise across the plains, formed from geothermic radioactive energies deep in the planet. Coming out as smoke and dust, it chokes the air and covers the ground in deadly waste. The most lethal fumes come from the volcanoes, erupting plumes of radioactive ash into the sky and belching out magma of plutonium across the surface, the poison lava glowing a bright green. The energy from the volcanoes generates huge radioactive storms that rage across the planet and are so lethal they kill most living things trapped within, leaving nothing but a barren landscape of toxic waste. The world would be sterile of life if not for the Watamon root that grows like a net across the planet. Thick, spongy, and glowing pink, they feed off the radioactive energy and clean up much of the surface as fast as the toxins can be released into the air. The Federation uses the roots to cover their homes and provide protection against the storms. While dead roots provide some protection, living roots that grow freely around a building can filter the air as quickly as it becomes tainted. Some in the Federation go further and use lead shielding to further absorb the radiation. Bolted to the side of thick stone buildings, the best lead sheets can be inches thick, leaving the metallic fortresses to weather even the most lethal of storms in relative safety. The Federation also uses lead to insulate their clothing, often wearing primitive plate armor and helms when traveling outside the city. While it provides protection from most background radiation, being caught in a storm will still be lethal. While the radiation has killed most of the life across the planet, the most stalwart species that managed to survive the initial stages of radioactivity evolved into new, horrifying mutated versions of themselves. The Watamon lion has grown into an extreme-size version of itself. The size of a house, it sprouted dozens of limbs across its back. Formed into stingers, its fur bristles like a coat of quills, striking its victims in unison. The Watamon rhino has formed several heads with horns that pulse with elemental energies of fire and ice, and can use that energy to send out blast waves of elemental power, similar to a fireball. But perhaps the worst of all is the Watamon zombie, a human whose genetic structure has twisted from the storms and survived. Immune to radiation, their skin peels away in sheets, but their healing has accelerated, allowing them to regenerate like a troll. While this makes them tough, it leaves them in the constant agony of perpetual rotting. They form cults and bandit groups, living on the fringe of society, killing and stealing to survive. They are extremely hard to kill, their bodies shrugging off most damage, but find it extremely hard to focus as their painful decay leaves them in a constant state of fatigue and sickness. For more information on radioactive energy, please read the scroll collection Fringe Magic by Key the Mage.